Happy Global CE Day. Today we have Busola Oronti from Nigeria studying in Warwick, uh, England. And so welcome, Busola. Tell us about what
Thank
you're
you.
up to. Tell us about what you're up to.
Actually, on my doctoral studies at the University of Warwick in England. And I'm working particularly in the area of biomedical engineering and specifically focusing on medical devices, because there are a lot of things going on with that. And in particular, we're looking at cardiovascular diseases. So there's a lot to that. So I'm working with Dr. Leandro Pecchia. And yeah, it's been good.
So how long
yeah,
now in Warwick?
Yeah, I started my studies last year, February.
Okay.
So I would say just over one and a half years.
Yeah.
Okay.
What part of cardiovascular are you most interested in these days?
The part that has to do with congestive heart failure.
Okay.
So, and because a lot of work has been done in diagnosis and prognosis. So what we're looking at now is early detection.
Yep.
We want to be able to detect that earlier.
Is that a pretty high prevalence at home? I mean, in Nigeria, or what?
Yeah, it is.
CHF.
Yeah. Actually, the first idea we had was to start with hypertension, because a lot of complications with that, and then leading on to congestive heart failure. We have a lot of people who are hypertensive in Nigeria, and that was what really put me on this path in the first instance.
But those two go together pretty well, right?
Yeah. So
a lot of comorbidities there together, yeah.
Yeah, and also because a lot of people don't even know they have this condition. So it's really a problem.
Well, it's a very important issue for you to study. You know, in my past as a quality director, the thing that got people in my country into the hospital the most often was congestive heart failure, honestly. So it's something that one needs to treat at all times in the care continuum, for sure.
Yeah.
What's the trajectory? How long will your studies most likely be? Like I said, you're at year 1.5. How long might you be there in UK?
Yeah, I'm actually supposed to be on my PhD for 4 years.
Okay.
But with the COVID situation, well, we're looking at longer periods now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how often do you get back home? Not so often.
I've never been home since I came. I've not been home.
Well, tell us a little bit about clinical engineering in Nigeria. How do you see what's going on there?
I think it's at the very early stage. It's just, we don't even call it clinical engineering, we call it biomedical engineering. It's just catching on. We have a few universities running degree programs now, and I wouldn't even say that they are standard programs, because not much is going on, and there's a lot of ignorance about even what biomedical engineering is. So, well, that might make me talk about some of the efforts we've been trying to make, because currently, I and some colleagues back at home, we just started a CE group. And then it was a bit difficult at first to get people, but right now,
WhatsApp or email? Or
it's just basically now a WhatsApp group.
Okay, cool.
So what we're looking at is to try and get registered so that we can make some impact, because if we are not registered, nobody will listen to us.
Okay.
So right now we're over 100 on the platform, although not everyone is so active. But
now this is all English speaking. I know Nigeria is more English than French.
It's basically English speaking.
Okay.
So I'm sure we'll be liaising with the Global Forum much later, when we've got our act together to see what we can do together.
But 100-person WhatsApp group, that's terrific. Wow.
Well, maybe basically not all of them are in mainstream
No,
biomedical
I know, but that's
engineering.
still incredible for you to
Yeah.
have done that at this stage in your career. Um, well, very good. So what's happened with COVID back in Nigeria? I know you were a part of some of our webinars, town halls with WHO, and some Nigerian colleagues presented about PPE and other things. Um,
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
going on with COVID in Nigeria?
Well, it seems life is returning to, I wouldn't say it's normal, but people say it's normal. But they say it's normal because um, we're not getting enough testing done.
Okay.
So the report of cases is quite low. But we know, I've heard, when of incidents of people having, not even knowing that it was COVID, but a lot of deaths being reported.
Yeah.
So, but basically what people are still trying to do is to make sure that they keep to the safety precautions, use a mask, try and wash your hands and all that. Although I think the spread is much more now, and it's been underreported.
Do you think
So,
clinical engineers can help make an impact?
oh, definitely we can make an impact. But
What?
I also think that people need to be trained properly
Yeah.
to be able to do that, which is a big issue. So yeah.
What's your aspiration? I mean, when you go back, what do you think you might be doing? I know that's a little ways downstream, but
Yeah, it's a big project. I hope to do a lot.
what, Nigeria is
I
like
don't,
the second or the largest country in sub-Saharan Africa. I know it's a big challenge.
yeah, we have a lot of people in Nigeria, so there's a lot to do. But the lot also has to do with the awareness, the regulations, what the government is willing to do to make clinical engineering relevant, because right now it's actually not relevant, as it were. So those are the first steps we want to take to make the profession relevant, so that we can have a say in policy making, and then we can see how we go from there.
Do you so getting this group together is certainly a first step in that direction. Do you envision some other steps? Or is there any way CED can help? I mean, you're very much a part of CED, but how can we help?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of ways CED can help. For example, we documented our vision, not necessarily what is happening now, but what could happen in the future.
Yeah.
We're thinking that beyond getting ourselves together and getting registered, we want to organize conferences. We want to be able to also sponsor people to
Sure.
see what is happening in the broader perspective, the worldview, get a worldview of what clinical engineering is really about.
Yep.
And perhaps we could also start a journal.
Oh, wow.
Have people submit papers and do things like that.
Well, I bet Calroy could help.
I'm sure she can.
I mean, the Journal of Clinical Engineering could also be a background platform, help in some fashion with Dr. David and so forth. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, this has been great talking to you today, and we're glad. Any words for your clinical engineering colleagues around the world in closing here?
Well, I just want to, because I want to encourage my fellow clinical engineers to keep on the good work. I think we've done a lot of good work, especially during this COVID period.
Yep.
But we can still do more, and we need to become even more relevant in the scope of things. So I believe the sky is our limit, or maybe we don't even have any limits.
So is that a sunset or a sunrise behind you? Either way, the sky is the limit. I hear you saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you,
Exactly.
Busola. It's great to be with you today. And bye for
Yeah,
now.
you too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.